next speaker is Calarco. She's a Senior Director, Global Industry Strategy of Life Sciences and Automation Anywhere. Calarco has over 20 years of global leadership experience at the cutting edge of life science, digital medicine, and technology. At Automation Anywhere, Catherine leads the global strategy for the life sciences division, actively working with the top pharma, medical device, and supplies company, rapidly responding to the global pandemic. She has a proven track record for driving significant revenue growth, as well as developing innovative, award-winning digital health and technology products to help companies progress forward into the next phase of innovation. As an industry thought leader, Catherine has deep expertise with AI and machine learning, robotics, and biometric sensor platform. Catherine has held executive positions at Applied Biosystem, Thermo Fisher Biolab, Intellectual Ventures, HeartMath, Cyber, and other AI and digital health companies. Catherine is a graduate of MIT, where she was also a senior lecturer. Without further ado, she's going to talk about intelligent automation. And without further ado, I'm switching to her talk.
Hello, this is Catherine Calarco, Senior Director and Global Lead for Life Sciences at Automation Anywhere. It is my pleasure today to participate in the executive briefing by the SBIC to talk about how intelligent automation is rapidly enabling life sciences to meet the business challenges facing us with COVID-19. We know that life sciences companies are at the forefront and are leading this response. They are responsible for not only providing the tools and medical supplies for our heroes that are the health providers and nurses at this time, but also they're leading the response in terms of therapeutics, vaccines, and finding a solution to enable us to prevent this from happening again. Now, one of the things that we are seeing is that government, healthcare, and life science industries are rapidly responding to this global challenge, and they're working together at an unprecedented rate. We have not seen the intensity of this collaboration in historical proportions before, and we are seeing that it is able to rapidly move the industry to finding solutions, to finding the right targets, and being able to take care of our people worldwide. Now, intelligent automation is an important aspect to that. And what it does is it empowers active collaboration by enabling us to rapidly deploy solutions that can drive real-time analytics and enable AI-driven decision-making during a time where it has to be done quickly. We can deploy data gathering and report building digital workers that do the work for us so that we are able as humans to solve the problems and do what humans do best during these times. It also, intelligent automation, enables us to scale the organizational capabilities, really enabling greater human capacity within our organization so that we are able to handle more and sustain the business while we're dealing with the pandemic and trying to solve the problem of that. So this is an opportunity for us to do things we've never done before. In fact, it gives us the opportunity to truly digitally transform this industry and create new paradigms for us to operate into the future. The IDC identified that when the SARS hit Asia in 2000s, that it changed the industry forever. It went from being desktops to laptops. We're going to see the same, where the institutionalization of digital workers will be a way for us to create capacity within the organization. And leaders are having to adopt this technology to assure that their organization can respond to future global situations or economic shocks or pandemics in the future. We are going to deal with these global instances, and we need to change the way the industry is operating in order for us to be able to successfully respond to it, adapt to it, and deliver solutions for it. Our planet, our people, all of us depend on this to be a reality. So how does that happen? Well, the life sciences industry is immediately having to address several different areas. They are focusing on identifying the virus and finding the right vaccine. They need to fast track studies. They need to create visibility on the supply chain and also to assure medical supplies arrive in time and in the quantities that are needed. They need to create rapid tests that enable us to find and track the vaccine. And they also need to run their businesses during this pandemic. What we've seen within the organizations that we're working with, we work with 85% of the biotech and life sciences worldwide, the top 85%. And of those, most of them are involved in finding a vaccine, enabling drugs to treat this pandemic, and also being able to provide the medical supplies necessary to help people sustain and thrive during this period. So the three areas that we see are find a vaccine target, accelerate clinical trials, and remove bottlenecks. And removing bottlenecks includes not only scaling manufacturing, but tracking the supply chain and being able to monitor trends, provide automated forms, and also communications. We're active in all of these areas. If you're interested in learning more, please connect with me directly. So what RPA can do, robotic process automation, is basically operates as a person. And if your person can do it, and it's based on business rules and a known process, we can help maintain business continuity 24/7 by deploying a digital worker to do that work. So basically getting rid of all the manual processes and enabling your people to do the higher value work. And the top item that our CEOs tell us is that they are looking to be able to move their people to higher value work and get rid of the robot in people. So we really want to be able to do that within the life sciences and healthcare organizations. So how does it work? So our digital workforce platform, it includes an enterprise RPA solution. It is both a native cloud and also it enables both attended and unattended automation. We have a cognitive piece, which is the IQ bot, which deals with unstructured data. It also deals with forms, check boxes, and can even do some handwriting. So we've been able to use the IQ bot to scan in things like quality certificate analysis sheets, to actually look at doing the WHO and CDC forms for reporting or tracking patients. We also look at bot insights to monitor real-time supply chain data or help to track what's going on with the bots and the data that it is using. And in fact, we bundle them all together to create a digital workforce. And we have digital workers in areas like HR and finance. So this is an entire platform. It works with all of our partners like Microsoft, Salesforce, Workday, SAP, and others to enable us to provide a win-win and a total package solution to help us remove the manual tedious tasks or to create more data visualization across disparate silos or different databases. So what we're seeing when intelligent automation is deployed is we're seeing across all sectors 30% reduction in costs and being able to get a 30 to 40% increase in cycle time. Most of our life science companies are seeing upwards of 80 to 90% improvements in cycle time. And the biggest impact is that we're able to impact and get that impact faster. One of the beauties about using intelligent automation is the fact that you can deploy it quicker. We've set up bots over the last few weeks in days and enabling us to do things like monitor and track people, employees, or being able to provide dashboards to communities. And generally, the ROI is seen in 12 months, and we've been able to see that again and again. So think about intelligent automation as a solution and tool for being able to manage in a rapid response situation and to connect pieces and automate processes that are manual. Now, what happens when you're doing a managing impact, and how do you create a solution to save lives? Well, you really are looking for things that are impacted, like being able to focus on, specifications and being able to do, discover the vaccine, automating the regulatory processes. You want to create a tiger team, really want to come together as an executive group and monitor what matters and be able to deploy that by having tiger teams implement this across the organization and enable you to use intelligent automation to help that happen. I'm going to go through some use cases that you're going to see here. Some of them are associated with clinical processes associated with discovery, being able to monitor FDA submissions, not only in terms of automating the document, but also the responses back. Can you also generate regulatory reports and do QA, QC analysis by integrating lab results and reports together? We also are seeing a huge amount of input on the actual operations or in areas of supply chain. One company is processing 5 times the amount of orders, and also being able to use bots to allow quantities to be divvied up amongst the people so that not all one supplier gets all the inventory. We're doing some amazing work on trying to create visualization and dashboards for real-time inventory across different hospital systems, as well as within the supply chain itself. Here's an example of a supply chain management using our intelligent automation. Basically, this medical supplies organization is able to input orders that are received from some countries by fax or by PDF or by an Excel spreadsheet within the US. They then take the extracted data that's important and then parse that into the necessary fields into SAP, which then automatically places the order, communicates with the distributor, and sends the product to the distributor itself. All of this is done by bots, done by 24/7, and are able to handle a volume increase. So these look for ways not only just end-to-end, but also look for little processes that can be automated that take some of the heavy lifting. Another area that we're seeing is within the drug discovery process. One of our large pharmaceutical companies was able to increase their NDA submission process, make it quicker by using intelligent automation by more than 4 months. Now, what greatness would that be if we could find this drug, this vaccine, 4 months faster? They also do things like auditing the documents. Clinical research organizations have automated the process of doing QA of their regulatory documents to assure that it's in the right format and all the information is consistent. There are lots of ways to do this, and we want to work with you to help make the regulatory process more efficient and help you to create the reports that are necessary and integrate the information from multiple centers. Also, complaint handling, call centers. Look for areas where you're seeing increased volume, both in terms of managing your tech support across your organization, but also being able to manage adverse events and complaints. With non-reportable complaints, we've been able to automate the process nearly end-to-end, saving over 90% of the time with 0 errors, 100% accuracy done the same way every time. So this is a way for us to enable humans to focus on really being able to solve the problems and work closer with patients and their health professionals to inform them, to connect with them, and add value. So we want to use these processes to increase their satisfaction and patient engagement. Supply chain is a big area. There is always manual pieces associated with a supply chain where you need to actually have a bot that can connect the dots and also make it traceable, trackable, and validate the transition. So one of them is being able to do supplier onboarding or inventory dashboard management. And this was actually enable us to do 100% automation and be able to get the accuracy across it, but also being able to do this without having to burden our workers. There's also what we're seeing now is the need for rapid deployment of being able to hire new people in new areas, and also being able to automate a lot of the onboarding and HR processes within organizations. And so we've deployed things like this onboarding bot, which is available in our bot store, but also digital workers with Workday to help us do a complete process. So look for areas that are more across are easy to implement, like IT or HR or finance, where you can start to get efficiencies while you're then being able to use those people to deal with the issues associated with the COVID-19. We've also engaged a rapid response team that is able to build bots in days, using everything from being able to do patient tracking to government form filling, to working with partners to deliver patient engagement and also communications with your workforce. So all of these have been done. All of these have been done very quickly within less than 10 days. So if you have an area where you need assistance, think about how you can deploy intelligent automation quickly to solve these immediate issues or provide information. One of my favorite stories is from Amgen. And Amgen, one of their people that was working had learned about their intelligent automation and wanted to build a bot because she saw that the lab were going inside and outside clean rooms or having to remove gloves to get information from an instrument outside of that clean room or outside of that lab. So what she did is she deployed Google Home and was able to call the information from the other instrument and integrated that together. We've also seen use cases. Now, this took them 20 minutes to 2 hours a day to get this information from across the different laboratory equipment. So they were able to do this automatically. It saved hours of time a week. And this is a means to get their cancer drug to market quicker. We've also seen where LIMS systems are not connected to things like SAP. And so we're able to extract that information and record that against batch records and for manufacturing and quality. So there's lots of ways that we can help research go faster. And what one customer told us, if that we can actually impact the amount of time that a researcher spends on actual research and the science rather than the reporting, you're going to get a 10x return. So I love these stories coming from people that are closest to the problems, and they themselves are able to build the bots under the guidance and compliance of their centers of excellence, and able to see this happen within less than 10 weeks and make a profound difference to their areas. So we have a lot more areas where we have made impact on millions of dollars and 163,000 hours and many different areas within a biotech company where you can actually see that transformation occur. So what we want to help in this situation is to ignite innovation. Now more than ever, technology is a means for us to create innovation. Not only create innovation, but be able to scale that quickly, scale manufacturing of the vaccine, and also enable us to assure continuity of drug supply. Technology is an important solution to create and enable humanity during this time. And we want to be part of that solution with our dedicated team, our commitment to this in this time, and also to work with our amazing partners who have spoken earlier today to enable us to truly solve and be the solution that you're going to need in this world today. So here's how we can partner together. We want to use intelligent automation together. We want to find solutions within your organization. And we want to enable you to quickly and rapidly provide that innovation, both to your organization and to your customer base. Please connect with us. We are actively involved and truly want us to go be great together. Join us. Thank you so much. I'll take some questions now or connect with me via LinkedIn or others. Thank you.
Hello, Catherine. How are you doing today?
Hello, how are you?
Thank you, thank you. Thanks so much for providing the presentation and giving an overview of what is possible. I always think that one of the benefits that I get from those events, and one of the benefits that I get from speaking with innovators like yourself, is that finding out something that I didn't even know exists. Right? You always think about automation, but you always think about some very particular application, and you don't actually understand what is possible until you actually start learning about it. So
Yeah, exactly.
So thanks so much for sharing those insights with us. And one of the questions that I have, and again, I'm kind of coming back from the banking background. So it's in a lot of times people think automation as the replication of the humans, right? Is that you can either do it more, you can either cut costs and get rid of the humans, so to speak. But I think that the value of the automation is to actually free people to do more, something that they're doing better than just some operational tasks. So in your experience with the life sciences and beyond, what do you think is the main application of this freeing the resources? Like, for example, if you can do all these things via automation, where people can apply their skills and their knowledge to be more productive, and how company should think about innovation, not in terms of the cutting costs, but finding those new opportunities. What has been your experience with that?
Yeah, that's a very good point. Very insightful. This is an opportunity for us to realize that we don't have organizational capacity and readiness to actually address these major issues. So the only way to do that is to actually enable within our organizations the ability to have capacity to deal with these shocks. And so, and not only that, but I talked to the CEOs of some of these divisions, and they say one of the number one reasons that they do this is to move their people to higher value work. And they realize that they have molecular biologists and PhDs and biochemists that are doing copy and paste from data spreadsheets and into other systems to create reports. And what they want is more science, less mundane work. And so, it's not for them, it's not necessarily about cost savings. It's actually about increased productivity, the ability to move the science faster so the innovation can get to market sooner, and have their people work in more higher value work. So, and I'm seeing that across the board. We did a survey of on a couple of our webinars, and we thought the number one reason that they were going to be deploying automation was for that cost savings. And every single one was, nope, it's to move our people, to get more value out of the work and have and enable our people to do more science.
So on that note, right, and I think I asked some other of our speakers of that, is that innovation is, again, is everyone. Nobody will tell us that, no, we're not thinking about innovation, we're not thinking about transformation. But a lot of times people are reluctant to try new technologies, to try onboarding new technologies, and they have different limitations on their side, sometimes just mental and not necessarily justified. So what has been your experience of trying to communicate, and what are some of the best practices of trying to onboard and test new technologies in the different organizations?
Yeah, that's a very good point, because one of the key things that often someone will bring, the IT department or one of the business units will bring this on board because they understand the value of it. They've got a specific use case they want to implement and they're ready to roll it out. And they underestimate the change management aspect that needs to happen. So one of the key ways we do that is we bring people along. We talk to them, we engage them, we provide a like an art of the possible presentation to sort of tell them what's happening in the industry. You're not first. Here's what some existing use cases. There's a huge footprint of people that are already doing this. Almost to say, if you're not doing this, you might be outcompeted, because it is a necessary tool for you to actually thrive into the future. And the other second aspect is people, once they figure it out, like the first thing you do is, if you actually do one process and you automate it and you do a video of it, literally people's lights go on. They go, oh my gosh, there's so many things that I'm doing. We had someone take the video of a complaint handling process that we automated and run into the CFO's office and say, look what we can do. And immediately got support to roll it across several different parts of their business. So I think part of that is education, inspiration, and enabling them to have the experience of what it's like, and provide process workshops and also training exercises to actually enable people to understand where to take it next. And eventually you go from people not knowing what they could automate to having a list of 120 things. So it's a really fun to watch that process go. We have one organization in a very large pharma who has rolled this discovery workshops and build-a-bot sessions across the world, from the United States to Mexico, Germany, Poland. All these different countries have actually engaged in this, and so they have a wealth of knowledge and understanding across their business units to automate. And now it's becoming standard. And the future is going to be, I'm coming to work at a life sciences company or any company, I'm coming with a digital assistant, and I expect everyone to be there for me to enable me to do my work better.
No, that's definitely a great point. So the other question is that what I think you briefly touched is that in order for the automation to be truly revolutionary, in order for the automation to be truly immensely impactful, it has to be universal, right?
Right.
So, like for example, how do you handle the cases when you, for example, you can still speed up the processing, you can speed up all the aspects, either for the delivering results for the virus or some other critical application. But what if you have some bottlenecks, either upstream or downstream from you? How do you actually try to help your clients to handle this bandwidth, to handle this automation as it pretty much produces more and more results? How do you handle that?
Yeah, so if I'm understanding correctly, sometimes there's bottlenecks that are outside of your control,
Yeah,
or
exactly.
not within your own environment. What's great about automation is it operates like a person. So if I need to, if I'm a person who's handling this bottleneck and I'm having to log into someone else's system or sending a fax or processing some sort of internal document, a lot of those aspects can be automated. And so that frees up the bottleneck or enables the information to become more real time without you having to implement or institutionalize some sort of ERP system. It's more of a means to connect that together. And that's one of the advantages of RPA, is that it operates in the same way a person does. And it can work between different disparate systems and databases and spreadsheets, and can actually do that. So that is one of the ways that it enables it. It also can help make it more visible where it is. Like one of the groups of medical devices we worked with automated their supply chain of surgical supplies in terms of actually understanding where the inventory was, right? So that actually helped the hospitals to manage their inventory better and help them with their ability to understand what was happening in the field and get better capital utilization. So there's ways of making it work. Now, can it do everything? No, I mean, it can't. I mean, there are things that are more challenging than others with regard to any technology. And I think this is a great tool to be able to connect these pieces together and automate some of the processes that haven't been automated before, and be able to do it quickly. The intention is that it's something that you can deploy and take advantage of right away with either using our rapid response team, our bot store technology, our cloud. We have our cloud service, which is A2019, or the enterprise system. So there's lots of ways to engage.
Definitely, definitely. So the last question I probably have for you is that what would be the one piece of advice that you would give to the business owners, the managers, the entrepreneurs? Is that how do you actually keep innovating in this
Right.
turbulent times? How do you actually focus on that transformation? How do you look for the opportunities outside of, again, I said it probably 5 times. How do you look outside of the opportunities of saving cash and staying positive?
Yeah, so I think two things is that you're not alone in this, right? So I'd lean on partners and people who want to help and be part of the solution. So second of all, start where it's simple and easy. I think that there are people who are naturally uh, innovative, and the humans are really good at solving problems. So when you're faced with a challenge, you will figure this out. And so you use the collective intelligence within your organization, and you work with partners or technology partners like ourselves to help you get to those results. And I would look for things that are initially, easy wins that are right across the top priority, or are things that will help you to focus more resources on those top priorities. It's a very complex question. I probably talk about it for a long time. But I think the first part is, put take care of yourself, get sleep, and manage the stress, stay connected to people and your family and things you love. And two, don't underestimate your creative intelligence of the group that you're working with to solve problems, and be able to find solutions and work with your partners and lean on the community. And we're all in this together, so we've got to figure it out together. And it is possible. And we've seen it happen. We've seen it happen just in the last 2 months.
Perfect, perfect. Catherine, thanks so much for ending up on such a positive note. I really appreciate you spending the time to talk to us, to talk to me personally, and I really appreciate all of your insights, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of the evening and a wonderful rest of your week. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. I appreciate being here.